In the best street of the neighborhood stood a magnificent mansion. It was a sprawling estate with lush gardens, sparkling fountains, and opulent interiors. This was the abode of the enigmatic billionaire, Alexander Blackwood. At the mansion, a young and beautiful housemaid named Sophia worked tirelessly, attending to every need of the household. Her days were filled with polishing silver, arranging flowers, and ensuring that every corner of the mansion gleamed with perfection. Sophia's captivating emerald eyes and radiant smile were enough to capture the attention of anyone who laid eyes on her. One fateful day, as Sophia was dusting the grand library, Alexander Blackwood walked in. He was a charismatic and commanding figure, with an aura that exuded power. Sophia felt her heart skip a beat, as if fate had cast its spell upon her. Alexander, captivated by Sophia's grace, struck up a conversation. They found solace in each other's company, their connection growing stronger with each passing day. Behind the scenes, however, another story was unfolding. Elizabeth, Alexander's elegant and poised wife, had discovered their secret affair. Yet Elizabeth had her own secret to protect. She was an undercover cop assigned to the mansion, tasked with monitoring Alexander's illicit activities. Alexander, unbeknownst to Sophia, was the leader of a notorious drug smuggling ring. The mansion served as a front, disguising the sinister operations hidden within its lavish walls. Elizabeth continued her charade, pretending to be oblivious to the affair between Alexander and Sophia. She silently gathered evidence, biding her time until she had enough to bring Alexander to justice. Each passing day increased the tension in the mansion, as the three characters danced on the razor's edge of deceit and desire. Meanwhile, Sophia's infatuation with Alexander grew stronger. Their stolen moments together became bolder and riskier, fueling their passionate connection. Sophia was completely enamored by Alexander's charm, his wealth, and the luxurious life he offered her. But as their affair deepened, Sophia couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something was amiss. The mansion seemed to hold secrets within its walls, and she couldn't ignore the occasional whispers and hushed conversations that surrounded her. Little did she know that those whispers were the echoes of danger lurking ever closer. One day, Sophia noticed a stranger she hadn't met before having a heated conversation with Alexander in his study. Sophia listened in on the conversation between Alexander and the stranger. Her heart pounded in her chest. The words she heard chilled her to the bone. They had kidnapped an innocent girl, and she was being held captive in the mansion's basement, awaiting transport the next day. The reality of Alexander's criminal activities shattered the image of the kind and loving man she thought she knew. Before Sophia could process the magnitude of what she had overheard, Alexander's piercing gaze fell upon her. The rage in his eyes sent shivers down her spine. He advanced towards her with his fists clenched, his once charming demeanor now replaced by a menacing aura. Sophia stepped back, fear consuming her. But in a twist of fate, the sound of approaching sirens filled the air. Elizabeth, accompanied by her team of undercover police officers, stormed the mansion with determined resolve. The chaotic scene unfolded as officers apprehended Alexander and his accomplices. As they led Alexander away, his face contorted with fury, he shouted at Sophia and Elizabeth, "You'll both pay for this! No one does this to me and gets away with it!" His threats echoed through the mansion's grand halls, leaving a haunting impression on the trembling maid. Sophia stood there, trembling and overwhelmed by the events that had transpired. She felt a mixture of shock, relief, and a profound sense of shame for her own indiscretions. Though Elizabeth wasn't Alexander's true wife, Sophia knew that her involvement in their affair had been a mistake, a betrayal of trust. Elizabeth, finally free to reveal her true identity, approached Sophia with a mix of sympathy and understanding in her eyes. "I'm sorry for the pain you've endured," she said softly, her voice filled with remorse. "But justice has been served, and now it's time for us to part ways." Elizabeth, the undercover cop, knew that her duty was fulfilled, and it was time for her to move on to her next assignment. Sophia nodded, a mixture of gratitude and sadness in her eyes. She understood that their paths were meant to diverge, yet she would forever be grateful to Elizabeth for uncovering the truth and saving her from a dangerous situation. With the mansion now void of its dark secrets, Sophia took a deep breath, ready to embrace a new chapter in her life. She left the opulent walls behind, determined to make amends for her own mistakes and find a path that was true to her values. As for Alexander, his threats echoed through the mansion's corridors, but they were merely empty words now. He was whisked away by the police, his reign of criminal activities finally coming to an end. In the aftermath of the dramatic events, the mansion stood as a silent witness, its once glamorous facade tarnished by the shadows that had enveloped it. It served as a reminder that even behind the facade of opulence, darkness could lurk. Sophia, now free from the allure of luxury and the dangers of forbidden love, sought solace in a simpler life. She found a new job, far away from the mansion and its memories. With time, she mended her broken heart and learned to forgive herself for her indiscretions. Years passed, and the mansion underwent a transformation of its own. New owners brought in light and positivity, erasing the remnants of its sordid past. It became a sanctuary of hope and rejuvenation, a symbol of resilience and triumph over adversity. And Sophia, having grown from her experiences, found love again in the most unexpected of places. It was a love built on trust, honesty, and shared values. Together, she and her new partner embraced a future filled with happiness and authenticity. As for Elizabeth, she continued her courageous work as an undercover cop, never forgetting the lessons learned during her time at the mansion. She remained steadfast in her commitment to fighting crime and protecting the innocent. And so, the tale of the housemaid and the billionaire's wife came to an end, with the mansion standing as a witness to their trials and triumphs. It served as a reminder that secrets and darkness may temporarily cast their shadows, but ultimately, the power of truth and redemption prevails.